Hi, good afternoon, traders. This is Krishna Joshi here with 7 Points Capital. I'm going to bring you today's trader takeaways. It's a short week, holiday mood, so might as well figured we do a midday recap. And we're going to jump right into uh, the important stocks that are moving, earnings catalyst. But don't forget, a lot of these low floats are moving again today. Uh, Markets gapping up surprisingly after a panic selling yesterday. We saw a huge sell-off in the pre-market yesterday just before the open, and stocks like SQ, Nvidia had massive sell-off in the open. They pretty much gapped down over 10% just in the pre-market. And guess what? We're back above those lows. Nvidia bounced off, in fact, from 133 to about 155. Amazon rallied back over 100 points. So it's been that kind of a volatile market. And as far as my trading goes, I'm trying to uh, keep it slow, keep the shares limited, making sure that my position sizing is smaller than usual so that you don't get slippage. You are also making sure that there's enough liquidity in the market. So let me jump into individual names, a quick overview of SPICE. So I had a nice little short in the SPICE. So we gapped up above the 265 area, which was like a lot of resistance. We tested that about 4 times. This is yesterday afternoon, testing 265, and we sold off in the 264 handle. But in the after hours, up until 6 o'clock, we had a nice continuation of the sell-off. We were at 263.25 on SPICE, closed higher by a point by 8 o'clock. So between 6 and 8 p.m., we had a nice little quarter% move in SPICE, and then we gapped even higher today morning. And similar action in Qs. Nasdaq as well, we saw some sell-off in the after hours. Nice little cover in from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. gapping up, and we are sort of continuing today. Quick overview on the FANG stocks. Apple still looking weak. Amazon, like I said, has recovered over 100 points. Netflix still getting choppy in that 264 to 275 range, so we're going to wait for a breakout on either sides on that one. But let me jump on to um, the low floats that have been active today. So we came in with ANY yesterday. Nice few bases just rallying, just took off. In fact, after 2 o'clock, we felt like, oh, is this stock kind of done? Everyone looking to sell into this push, and then got squeezed really hard. And today we had a similar action in ABIL. So this is my best stock on the day. Couple of nice long setups in this one. So my first trade was long in the 418, 420 area. All right, this one. So bought the 418s, bought the 420s, sold in the 50s. Going for a nice coffee break, come back and it's trading close to 440. And might have added half of it back at this spot, but it just absolutely took off from that spot and didn't give me a chance. But once we saw a nice little push, pulling back in the fives, I ended up buying the 528, 530 area. So the bid's been really stepping up. He's been trying to not really make it that predictable, but 530 offer is big. He tries to push it down, tries to sell the 518, 515, and the bids come right back. So that's when I'm looking to buy in once I see a little confirmation, because the tape is definitely suggesting that someone's been smartly accumulating these stocks. All of these low floats under 5 million share float. So they've been really active. They've been pushing. Uh, so I ended up buying 530, ended up selling into the 560, 570 area, and that was about it. So nice couple of long setups in this. Uh, Definitely left some meat on the bone. Could have probably got back in again over here. So even here, the confidence level was not as high as the previous long setups. So I was definitely not looking at getting in here because this was like not even a double top, probably a lower high. Let me see what this wants to do. But if you wait long enough, you just the stocks, these stocks are just squeezing absolutely from 575 to 725. So that's like 30% odd move. The stock is up 150% now. After that, we saw similar action in ALT, getting a squeeze, MTSL, LMFA, and ANY from yesterday. So I'm watching a lot of these low floats now that the earnings names are sort of slowing down. So today we had DE. This was the one that I was watching in the morning for a nice continuation. I couldn't catch the 141 break, more like an opening range break. I did not get that. So what I ended up doing was I shorted 143.50 for a break. It goes down, comes right back up, more like a break-even trade. So taking paper cuts here, and then ended up reshorting again in the 144 area, and goes down, added some more, and then comes back, taking a small loss again. So I ended up having DE for 3 small losses in a row. So I have left it alone for a while. And ADSK earnings as well today, similar action. So I ended up shorting below 134. So I ended up shorting uh, right about here after 10 o'clock. So I ended up shorting on the bounce of into 134, comes back. I'm still looking to hold this, goes back up, comes down. I'm adding more, and then I'm getting stopped out. And then I did try one long setup. I ended up buying 134.20, which was in here. Took it off again. So again, so it's either break even or small losses. Um, it's not, I'm risking probably like zero point 0.1 or zero point 0.2 hours because I'm in the money a little bit. I'm not getting a feel for the stock, so um, I'm not really adding full size. I'm adding like a third of my position, adding another third. I don't like it, I'm taking off. But this seems like it's setting up on the long side really well here. It's defending 132.50. It's been defending 133 for a better part of the morning now. So I'm definitely looking at a few long setups on this. But I'll quickly go over a few other stocks. I've had a lot of small singles, no home runs today. But if you have singles in like about 6 stocks, that sort of makes a decent day. So ABIL was my best stock on the day. The other one is QD. This stock is having a lot of reserved buying. So Chinese name earnings and a couple of other Chinese names are BZUN and BILI. So I'm going to show you QD real quick. So this action was the same as what we saw at 499. So I'm watching this stock at 499 bid. It's holding. He wipes it off. The stock pushes up 10 cents, comes back to 499, tries to do that again. And this time they take out 499 and it just goes down because there's no liquidity beyond 499. So everyone who is buying here is just stuck. They're just out of money. They take a small loss on it. And it sets up again at 489 bid on the similar price action. So I've seen this story a couple of times. So what I do is I end up buying 490 and I'm selling in the 498. It comes right back down. I'm buying again 490s, selling in the 496, 498, goes down again. So I'm able to do that 3 times, and then the final time it just started going higher. But again, price action is similar. 509s, 508s holding. The bid is there, huge bid. So about 15,000 on the bid and 100 share reserved. NYSE NYSE print on the level 2 is just soaking everything. So you can buy as much as you want with the 490 NYSE guy because he's a reserved seller, and you can see a huge bid at 489. So that's a nice risk reward that you can see. Am I worried about slippage here? Absolutely. So I'm definitely watching out closely. When I'm full sized in QD, I'm making sure I'm not looking at anything else. So that was QD for me. BILI, crazy price action at the 15 level. So we're discussing in the group chat, we're looking at BILI together, struggling at 15, goes down, comes back, and the huge offers stacked at 14.95, 98, 15, and once it takes all of those out, I'm just long. So ended up buying 15, take some in the wash in the 40s and 50s, comes back down. I ended up missing this. There's a nice little push. I could have bought it back and sold into similar price action into the 16 area. But this was it. My trade was sort of done after this one. I'm not looking at shorting this. One possible short that I could have looked at potentially was again a tight risk reward that we saw in QD. So a similar price action here would be shorting 1495s with the stop at like 1505. That wouldn't have worked. I could have been in the money a little bit. So I was looking at that trade, not a high conviction trade, so I ended up letting it go. And BZUN, so this one took off 36 area in this one. So all of these three Chinese names announcing earnings either yesterday after hours or today pre-market, and I ended up buying 35.90s, takes out the huge offer at 36, goes to 36.50, and ended up taking like a small winner. Didn't really like how it acted. Uh, this one had more meat on the bone on the short side. So had I been looking at this 36 rejection, shorted it versus 36.50, that's good 3 points left on the table on this one. So QD, I'm happy with this with the executions. BILI, I couldn't have done anything differently except buy here. But BZUN definitely won on the short side. I could have been watching it. Um, and one big missed opportunity was FL. Shorting FL. So my first short was in this area. So 53s were defending since the open. So this is 53, reserved 53, goes up, comes back down. So I ended up buying 53 here. Got a nice push, 60 cents cover into 53.60, 53.70 area. So I ended up taking my long here, and then we forming a new range which is 53.50 to 54.25. So I ended up shorting it here versus day highs, got stopped out, and then I'm seeing a similar price action where it tops out at 54.50, comes back down, tries to fail, rejecting a couple of times. So I had a nice little wash on this. Goes down, comes back, adding more, and on the first drop I'm just taking off everything because I'm like, this is the bottom of the range. I'm gonna take off some here, and that's what I ended up taking it very quickly. And this could have been potentially a huge trade for me, almost a point and a half. So that's a big missed opportunity for me, along with KSS. So KSS shook me out. I was in KSS long 65.35s, nice little wedge formation here, and as the spies push, I'm quickly in the money. I'm pushing it higher. I have my full size, and as it comes back, I just took a loss on it, booked the loss. It was just like a shakeout for me. There's no reason, if I look in the hindsight, there's no reason for me to get out. Probably this red bar created some sort of panic, second guessing myself, and just ended up taking a loss. Instead of being in the money nice for about 50 cents, the stock just rallied absolutely 50 cents straight up, comes back, panic exit, and just a terrible execution. So these are quite a few symbols. All of these either small home runs, either small singles, no home runs for me, or taking paper cuts on it. And that's, I think, my definition of a slow day. Keeping the losses small, keeping the position sizing in check, and that's going to be it for me for the rest of the day. I'm going to take it slow. I hope you guys have a good week ahead. Happy Thanksgiving, and enjoy your time with the family. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And this is Krishna Joshi with 7 Points Capital. Thanks again for watching, guys.